Hello and welcome to my breakdown of Dead Star. This is an indie space shooter, twin stick shooter kind of game. Currently the PlayStation Plus free game on PlayStation 4. It's also available on PC for $20 right now. And it features crossplay, so PlayStation 4 and PC players can theoretically play together. There's a setting in the matchmaking. So this is primarily a multiplayer game. It's competitive, so it's team versus team, and you choose between 5 versus 5 or 10 versus 10, and you capture outposts along the way to try and get to your enemy's base. There's loadouts with ships and upgrades as you go along, and I'm going to hang around in the free play area just to give you an idea of the mechanics, and then maybe we'll check out a multiplayer match. I just started playing, so I'm not super great, but lets me go through a little bit slower and maybe let you show some of the mechanics. So when you start, you get to choose your loadout, and your loadout is basically your 3 ships here. You have your quick ship, your medium ship, and your heavy ship. I guess you can have more than one of each ship. I like these 2 fighters, the marksman and the herald. I think it's the herald. Let me check. Shot cannon. No, maybe that's not it. Maybe it's this one. Yeah, this blade launcher is a pretty good weapon. So I like these, and then this Vindicator is my heavy ship. That's a big, slow-moving monster. So we'll get started here. Here you can set your settings here, upgrade level, so you can say, oh, I want to start at the max upgrade level. Now again, this is free play. This isn't online or anything like that. This is just you kind of fooling around with all the mechanics, so you can do pretty much whatever you want. You can say, oh, I want the enemy to have 5 outposts, or 1 or 2 or whatever. Nebulas, these things, they seem to have different effects on your ship if you fly through them. Some of them, I think either blue or purple, they make your ship invisible if you're in there, so you can hide from the enemies. I know the red, this orangey red here, this actually causes your ship to take damage. So you can, so it looks like shadow, it looks like that's the one that's going to hide you. Repair, that must repair you if you're in it. Power, maybe that makes your guns recharge faster. Frost, that probably makes you go slower. And then fire burns you, that hurts you. We'll just keep on random. Asteroids, so looks like these asteroids, some of the asteroids you can use for resources. The other ones, it looks like Frozen probably slows you down if you blow them up. I'll just leave that on random. And then background, I guess that's just cosmetic. Some of the backgrounds are pretty good. Let's go with this one. And we'll start it up here. So I'll just be using the left and right analog stick to turn and shoot, or rather point my gun in a certain direction. So we'll launch here, and left analog stick controls my ship. Right analog stick, if you can see the little green arrow, that determines what direction my gun is pointing. So turn around, that's my machine gun. So this is the basic fighter you start out with. The training kind of goes through this one and a couple of the other ships, so you can get a handle on some of them. So it's kind of like the beginner, the starting out ship. This is your home base, and you got to defend it from enemy attackers, as well as it's your spot to drop off resources, which, oh, here's one right here. So these green asteroids, you can see this one's just plain rock. Oh, there's an enemy. Let me take this guy out. He was just an easy guy. These asteroids, these ones that don't have any color to them, they're nothing. But these ones that have green, they have resources inside of them, so you shoot them up, and you'll see that my gun's in the bottom there, where I have R2 right now. It's my machine gun, and it does have a cooldown. So So the more I use it, the more it heats up, and then I have to wait for it to disperse in order to keep shooting. Down in the bottom right, you see I've got 50 green bars there. That's how many resources I can hold. If it's full, I gotta come back here, drop them in.
Upgrade available.
And then that gives me XP, which lets me, you know, basically upgrade my ship with the touchpad. And then we have the core systems, which is like, well, you know, increased speed and shields all the way up to level 4. You have your primary weapon, which is, in this case, the machine gun. Every ship has a different primary weapon. So I'm going to go ahead and select this missile launcher, which is kind of a dummy missile launcher. You shoot it, and then you have to press the trigger again in order to have it blow up. Unless it hits something on the way. So I'll show you that here for a second. So this is going to be R1. Oh, see it. Oh, got some bad guys here. That missile I like it. It's pretty good crowd control. It has a pretty big blast. Oops, I blew that one. Oh, all right. Well, that's how it goes sometimes. You also get XP for killing ships, enemy ships. And you know, it's kind of like, you know, when you start out a mission, it's very a match. It's kind of like a strategy game where you want to build up your you want to build up your ship. You want to build up your researches and stuff, so you're a little bit stronger. You don't want to just run into a match, run straight at the enemy base, because you'll just get destroyed. And you can see down in the bottom left-hand corner, man, this guy's giving me a hard time. The map there, and the map's broken up into those hexagons. I think those are hexagons. And you're tasked with, you know, basically capturing those. The more you have, the more spawn points you have, respawn points, and the more control of the map you have. And that's the sort of thing. It's the primary mode here is called Conquest, and that's the basic idea of it. You try to capture as much of the map as you can, work your way toward the enemy base, and then capture their stronghold. And we'll do that in a minute. I think I'm going to go with the bigger guy here. So here you can deconstruct your ship that you're currently using, and then it'll come up and you'll say, oh, well, now what do you want to use? I'm going to use the Vindicator.
Upgrade available.
I'm going to upgrade this guy. So this guy's got some pretty good weapons here. This beam cannon is nice, and so is this missile turret. So we'll use that, and we'll go and we'll capture this outpost over here. And maybe by the time we have that, we'll be able to upgrade again. So is this going to be invisibility? Yeah, see, when I'm in this blue nebula, I'm invisible to the enemy, so I can just hang out here if I wanted to and wait for some enemies to come by. Maybe do a sneak attack, or let them go by and sneak around them, or something like that. So these are the enemy bases, and they're all protected by a turret and, of course, some fighters of some sort. So you want to take out the fighters. Oh, come on. There we go. You want to take out the fighters, and then you want to go for the turret. And I've seen quite a few different kinds of turrets. There's like one that is like a tractor beam that kind of destroys your, doesn't destroy you, I mean shuts your ship down so you can't use any weapons or you can't move. There's that one that's just like a regular turret that's shooting shit at you. I've seen a missile turret and a beam kind of weapon that kind of shoots out and it does sweeps to take out the enemies. One once you clear the area, you just gotta sit here and capture it, which takes quite a long time. So, you know, the goal here is to have a team, so you'd have a bunch of teammates with you protecting you while you're taking this, and, you know, the enemy will probably be trying to take it back. So there is a strategic element here. It's very much like a push-pull kind of map, because usually there's 4 squares, 4 hexagons. 2 of them are, you know, yours and your enemy's home base, and then the other 2 are up for grabs. So we didn't quite level up there, but that's fine. I may die once, but oh wait a minute, maybe.
Upgrade available.
There we go. I don't really like the shield very much. It's more of this particular shield. It's like a get out of town shield. Deactivates all of your weapons, and you just gotta fly away. Beam cannon increases damage. So we'll upgrade this missile. I really like the missile. Let's go over here and we'll finish this up, and then we'll check out the multiplayer. Hopefully we can get into a match pretty quickly. The controls are alright. I feel sometimes it's a little like that, like it's a little wonky. Yeah, I'm a twin stick shooter fan. I'm not a fan of twin stick shooters that have a trigger in addition to pointing in a certain direction. I like Geometry Wars where you just shoot wherever you point. This one is you have to pull the trigger. And there, see, like this gun is determined where I'm pointing. So is this, the missiles. But the beam, that's determined by where your ship's pointing. So there's a little bit of confusion there when you're in the heat of it and you're trying to make sure you're pointing at the right thing to use the right weapon. And sometimes, like, I'll activate the beam, but I won't be pointing at the enemy. But you get used to it. So that turret was actually the one that I was telling you about, that if I had gotten caught up in its field there, it would have disabled all of my systems after a certain amount of time. And I wouldn't have been able to move. And it doesn't hurt you itself, but if there are other ships around you or other things shooting you, it will definitely, you know, take you down because you're completely vulnerable. Yeah, so in a normal game, once I had captured this, the game would be over. That would be victory condition. There's also another victory condition, which I haven't really gotten yet, where you can capture a majority of the outposts, and then you use some sort of quote-unquote big orbital cannon or something that is also a means to beat the level. So you have to balance between making sure your enemy doesn't get a majority of the outposts, as well as, you know, defending your own home base. So there are 2 victory conditions, so, you know, something to keep in mind. So we'll play a match here. I don't know how much of the match we'll play. Maybe I'll just let it play out without me talking over it. Do a 5v5. So here we have, you can invite your friends, obviously. You have your hangar, which shows you your loadouts, I believe. No, so these aren't your loadouts. These are just you checking your ships. Your profile. It looks like you could choose your pilot. Recycler. I don't really know what this is. Recycling converts 3 components into a single, more powerful component. If all the recycled components have the same type, then the constructed component will share that type. Otherwise, a random type is chosen. Oh, so you must pick things up when you play, maybe as rewards for winning. And then here you can combine them into something stronger. That's pretty cool. Let's see. What's this? Options? Oh, that's just settings. Let's find a match. We'll do 5v5. Escape run. So this is something you also get by completing the missions, completing the multiplayer. I don't know, I haven't gotten one yet, but it looks like you escort a capital ship, which is different than the normal mode, which is alright. And then here's the crossplay. So if checked, allows matchmaking between PlayStation Network and PC. You can, if you uncheck it, you'll just be playing with PlayStation 4. That's an option as opposed to being mandatory. And I'm going to choose my little ship here. I'll probably use that most of the time. I like that little guy. I'll show you how he plays. Alright, let's go. Let's see if we can find somebody. Matchmaking did take kind of a long time the first time I did it. I hope it's a little bit faster this time. Yeah, I like the game. It's interesting. It's definitely worth a check out considering it's free on PlayStation Plus. Well, that was pretty quick. So, yeah, I mean, even if you're looking for it on Steam, I'm not sure if I'd say it's worth... Wow. Oh, man, we're in it. Holy crap. Alright, well, this put me right into a match here, which is something else. Not what I was really looking for. Usually the beginning of these matches are pretty slow. You know, you want to upgrade, like I have some upgrades here. I'm going to upgrade this. I like this little guy. You can lock on to dudes and then say, hey, see ya.
Upgrade available. Upgrade available.
Yeah, I know there's an upgrade available. I'm busy right now. So this is a dude.
Upgrade available.
Ah, he got me. Yeah, like I said, I haven't been playing for a long time, so I'm not super awesome yet, that's for sure. I really have to explore the ships out a little bit more and find out which ones I really like.
Upgrade available.
This guy's got my number. See, that's if I get caught up in that thing that he has around himself. I got him. Hey, look at that. This is pretty clutch. That's that thing where if I get close. Yeah, that's the thing that if I get close. So now I've got this thing. Nope. His was stronger than mine. Yeah, we're kind of getting wrecked here. Not happy you put me on this team, that's for sure. You know, there's leaderboards and stuff. So the better you do, the higher on the leaderboards you get. I'm going to use the
upgrade available.
Lots of stuff going on here. Missiles.
Upgrade available.
Let's see. Whoa. Oh, alright. Well, that was quick. That's what happens when you lose.
You lost, but there's always tomorrow.
Yeah, maybe that's all right. That way we got the match out quickly. You know, some of the matches can take a while if you're just doing a lot of back and forth. But yeah, I mean, this is pretty good. I like it. Definitely gonna check it out a little bit more, figure out what ships I like and what you know, how the progression is and everything like that. So I hope you liked the video, and make sure you like and subscribe to see more. Thanks.